Speaking of cool stuff, I know somebody who thinks his poop doesn't stink anymore. He thinks he's hot stuff or cool stuff,
Who's
as
that?
it were. Well, he was on the podcast a few episodes ago, and ever since then, ever since then, his Earthlink account is just lit up with from his old people ring. And
on his 486 machine.
Yeah, suddenly he used to just send out forward after forward of forward this, or you're going to crash your car the next day, or the engine will blow up like Mike, or something like that. But now all it is, he's constantly sending out emails to his other old AARP friends about this podcast that he was on, and he's been bugging me because he wants to come back on the podcast. So
you didn't tell me this. I didn't realize we were having a guest tonight.
So, of course, I said tonight we would let him be on the podcast.
Wow. You ready for this, Howie?
I don't know.
Let him back on now. I told him to be a little less abusive this time. But
I'm afraid I'm going to get punched in the Jimmy John's.
He's
just be careful. Just be careful about what we say.
He might be. Let me see if he's ready. Hey, old man. Hey, come
on. Hi, Papaw. How you doing?
It's Papaw again.
Papaw Gin.
Who the hell are you?
Yay.
Papaw.
There's different lighting in this room. Things have changed. I don't know what's going on.
It's a different room. Yes, yeah, it is.
Right out loud. You get more room than you can deal with. What's with all the furniture stacked in the corner? You people getting ready for a bomb raid or something like that?
Something.
Right.
You got enough light there, old timer?
Right? Probably. Let me adjust the bifocals on the. Right. Got new specs the other day. Every 3 steps I get dizzy and fall down, break a hip. But hanging in there, all right.
I like Harrison Ford.
Oh, well.
Hey-o.
Yeah, I don't drive one of those anymore.
Many people don't.
No. Want to sit down and have a word with you, gentlemen. Oh, there's a spider crawling right down onto your iPad as we speak. Look at that fella. Just drop him on the Macintosh. That's fine. Nobody likes those things anyway.
He's crawling over me now.
Burn it.
Well, we have to set Howie on fire now. Oh, goodness sake. Hey, wanted to put together a few words I wanted to share with you boys.
You did.
Yeah. We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's and yet as mortal as his own. We know now that as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. Those words came from Orson Welles, recited during the opening of the War of the Worlds radio play, a dramatization that explored the deeper hypothesis of how humankind would react should an alien master race use their superior technology to watch from the skies in order to ultimately undo the very fabric of society.
Yes.
Well, now it's the 21st century, fella, and any fudge-brained nincompoop with motor skills and a Diners Club card can take a detailed video of your neighbor's marital indiscretions as he stews in his hot tub like a bacteria-filled lump of beef nestled between 2 bruised potatoes and a limp carrot.
You need to get your camera out of my house.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't know who's told you. How can an invasion of such sweaty, passionate privacy be possible, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. Drones, of course.
Oh, no.
Oh, drones.
Our radio-controlled watches in the sky. Have you boys heard about these?
I did.
Yeah. Our auto-avian eyewitnesses. Our quadricoptering... Let me try that one again. Our quadricoptering inquisitors. Our rotary-bladed beholders. And, well, let's be honest, our acne-covered pop culture enthusiasts with a vitamin D deficiency.
Because they don't go outside.
That's why. He's wise to it. Eric. Call it out there so the listeners can know. Call it what you want, but ultimately this boils down to the fact that someone was dumb enough to give nerds the gift of flight. And approximately 3/4 of their awkward teenage dreams have now come true. I'll leave it up to you to figure out what the other quarter was. If it weren't for these low-cost electro-looky-loos, these guys would still be tucked firmly in their mother's basements, grinding out their next level in World of Duty or Donkey Craft or some such nonsense.
Donkey Craft. This is like stacking donkeys.
We had to go all dataless and take our greasy, bespectacled Icaruses Icaruses.
Icarai?
We took our Icarai to the skies, and now we have the gonads to act surprised when they go soaring off toward the sun, slovenly drooling like it's Carrie Byron in a Slinky R2 dress.
Oh.
But of course, these nerds are out of control, and the movie industry is feeling the pinch, don't you know? The folks at Pinewood Studios ain't exactly far into the concept, as drone flybys are a regular occurrence, buzzing in and furiously taking snapshots and videos like a Japanese family at a Starbucks next to Niagara Falls. They've had more leaks than Elton John after a night out with David Hasselhoff and Betty Ford. Because of drones, we've seen pictures of the Millennium Falcon, some X-Wings, some pilots, and, well, some other X-Wings. But, so there's X-Wings and the Falcon, and there's pilots. And, well, I guess we knew all that. Are we really supposed to be surprised by any of this? I mean, boy, they've really gone all Walter Peck on the containment unit this time, haven't they? No one's getting this Twinkie back in the basement. Am I right, boys? Jeez.
Yes.
I can recall back to when I was stationed in London during the big one.
Which one? Big what?
Let me get to the punchline, Mike. As long as the sirens weren't going off, the only aerial attack you had to worry about was an angry pigeon dropping a hot BM on your turkey on rye. Take it from me as a lesson learned, fellas. Never close your eyes when biting into a sandwich.
It's good
That
life
ain't no
advice.
helmets, believe you me.
So, yeah, good.
So how can the movie industry come to protect their closely guarded secrets? Well, the fine folks at Pinewood have ordered in for a drone shield.
Yes.
Which until yesterday,
Shield, yep.
I believe that to be a primetime drama on CBS. I've since been informed that it's just an alarm that goes off when drones are nearby. So, provided it glows blue and can be recalibrated from drones to octogenarian retirees dressed as orcs, well, let's just say Papaw's Hobbit cosplay is nearly complete.
I didn't know.
There's a Lord of the Rings reference.
Yes.
It's a hairy feet.
But who's got a camera in my house now? But ain't this all just much ado about nothing? So what if we get a peek at some earth-burned hangars and a handful of starfighters, including a custom black and orange X-Wing that is no doubt destined for the cover of Low Fighter magazine, featured with a sound-synced ground effects package and a recumbent Twi'lek on the fuselage in a white T-shirt and a pair of jorts, holding her Lake Kubak to leave absolutely no doubt that her eyebrows were in fact drawn on painstakingly with a Sharpie.
Oh.
Watch your grocery checkout counters for that one.
No.
But so what if we get to whet our appetites with a handful of sneak peeks? As long as you're not out there doing something completely foolhardy, aren't the fans just going to get more excited? And perhaps therein lies the answer that Pinewood's really looking for. If you want to protect yourself from leaks, you have to make your production process less appealing to the fans. George Lucas knew it.
He was the master.
That's why he
Yeah,
spray
he
painted
was.
the lining of his indoor pool neon green and shot 3 prequels in it. Had a drone managed to make its way through his front door and across the foyer, all it would have found was a costume rack, a craft services table, and an easy-go golf cart parked inexplicably behind the bar.
Or explicable.
The man loves his golf carts, is what I'm saying. But fans are
he's
excited
fat.
about the practical effects, so Abrams can't just cut bait and decide to go green screen everything in at this point. Even Anthony Daniels nearly choked on a crumpet when Abrams even insinuated animating 3PO, rather than stuff the 68-year-old into an aluminum costume and tell him to do the robot like Dancing Machine by the Jackson 5.
Dancing machine.
That's a little YouTube homework for you, Howie.
Okay.
No, the
write that down.
answer, boys, is far simpler and surprisingly inexpensive. And I can assure the fine folks at Lucasfilm that the drone invasions will cease almost entirely. See, I figured it out.
Yeah.
Provided he ain't
really?
busy, all they have to do is pay Ahmed Best to stand around with a Jar Jar hat on.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
And the enthusiast media
course.
coverage will dry up instantaneously. After all, if you can convince your audience that Jar Jar's in your film, they'll act as if your film doesn't exist at all. That there's a guarantee you can take to the bank.
Yes.
And that's my
Abrams
2
needs
bits.
to listen to this.
JJ, pay attention.
That's just a little insight for you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
Papaw.
I feel incited.
I
Oh,
wish you a
man.
good day. I'm
I
going to
feel
go
wiser
back
now.
Have another decaf coffee and some Werther's Originals.
Some Sanka.
Thanks, Papaw.
Thanks, Papaw.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
Love you, Papaw.
Where did you go off to?
You know, we wonder what he does during the day, and I guess that's it.
Yeah.
We know.
Werther's Original. That's what.
Oh, man. I find him stuck to the bottom of virtually everything in the house. It's like he sucks on him for 5 seconds and gets bored or forgets where he is or what he's doing. I heard that, you son of a... Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
You need to let him out of the basement once in a while.
Well, you know... Last time we did that, we caught him wandering around in an open robe and only.
Okay. I get it. I
really
get
don't
it.
want that.
No. Sometimes you need to keep Papaw behind closed doors. Just put it simply.
Understood.